Testing, 1, 2, 3, just checking based on volume. With screen on, screen off. Testing for a live feed. Gonna do a premiere. Live feed premiere. Show people in real time how this works, I guess. So I just, it's actually, let's see, 2:53 a.m. in the morning, October 22nd, 2019, Tuesday. Just woke up to find out that Justin Trudeau won a minority re-election. And Bardish Chaggar, the leader of the House, has also won her seat back. And I haven't seen the speech yet, but I'm sure they'll cover about how they're here to represent all Canadians. I'm not going to be surprised when I hear that rhetoric. Anyway, I've got 3 days left to die, or live, I should say. So confusing. Denise put into landlord tenant for a review based on their rules and the law and the fact that we were not represented through anything. Anytime we tried to get any kind of access as persons with disabilities, we got the access already. It was shut down. And anyway, I'm not going to go through that again. It's self-explanatory. Go watch the video, see for yourself. It's municipal fraud, and Municipal Act fraud in action, and abuse of the law in action. This is their policy. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go through their rhetoric and bullshit. Review what the promises are, and I'm going to be doing live stream at least once a day. Friday, 8:30 a.m. in the morning is when they're supposed to be coming here and with the sheriff and kicking us out of our home. Fait accompli. It's the final act in their conspiracy to commit. Well, they do whatever the hell they want. Right now, it's supporting misrepresentation and fraud by the landlord. I don't see anywhere in the criminal code where it says that, as far as misrepresentation and fraud goes, or, lying during a contractual agreement, never honoring it, doing nothing to honor it, presenting us with the unlawful situation, both the city, municipality, and the landlord. And once they found the law worked, when they found the landlord, instead of fighting him, they got into bed with him and then used it to turn it against us, stripping us of our rights. They basically boxed up all of our rights, including our right to due process, into a nice little box. And they said, here, have it. It's yours. We are here for you. We need to get rid of these pesky tenants and disabled people who like to say that they got rights. They're getting in the way of our economy and our business. So as I said, I'm done. They can make whatever promise they want. If you want to find out the truth, watch the video. The one where I call Trudeau out on the update at the very end. You can see Canada's, you can start to see their human rights and legal agenda. A lack of human rights. It's a dictatorship. It's notwithstanding. You are nothing more than a prop. And, well, I don't care. It's not my problem anymore. There's only one way this is stopping, and that's we are asking for public assistance and calling an end to this fiasco, because it is obvious what's going on here. We are the ones who have been wrong. We are the ones who have been promised to have a safe place to live and that it's going to be the code. And they even put their seal of approval on it, saying that it's been the code. And why play all the games about whether or not they are licensed? Their bylaw is clear. I know this is confusing for people, but you must be legally licensed in order to lawfully collect rent. This is not to code. It has never been to code. It will not be to code if they're successful in getting us out of here, because the whole point is the minute they get us out of here, there's no other obligation. They're going to say that, well, it's resolved because they already consider the case closed. This is now 98 days that is due, and based on the minimum fine available in the bylaw, I'm just going to do this here. It's 350 for the one and 500 for the other, which is stackable and consecutive, which means you're fined under one, you're automatically fined under the other. But they're deliberately not doing that, and it's everything to do with 2011047, because that is the residential rental license. They don't want any blemish on it. I don't know. Doesn't matter, but they're not allowed to do this, and they're getting away with it. But $850 a day times 98 days equals $83,300 that they are allowing this landlord to get off just in fines. That is a mandatory minimum fine of $850 a day, or any part of a day that an order remains unfulfilled after the due date. The due date was July 15th. None of them have a right to do this. This was a matter of Municipal Act. Had they come in here unbiased the way they're supposed to, they were supposed to do an unbiased check, go, here's what's wrong, correct it, and make sure he corrected it. If they applied the law properly, because it says it's unlawful to pay that rent, and he was clearly without a license during that period, then following the law says that he was not supposed to collect that rent, and we just paid over $22,000 in unlawful rent. The same as if you went into a bank and took out $22,000 and just walked out the door with it, because that's unlawful. What do you think would happen? But where in the criminal code and any kind of context is this allowed? Only when they're covering up the truth. And I'm the one paying the cost. They've been covering up the truth for a while. There's a cabal of silence here. Jagmeet Singh's party was the only one that put it on their website that, in fact, in Canada, disabled people are not properly represented because frontline services such as independent living centers and other groups that appear to stand up for the rights of disabled, which they can do as a group in a corporate structure with, here, send your logo so we can raise money on it, but they are not allowed to do frontline services such as help you to fill out a simple application or a simple complaint form, even if it's a matter of here's how you fill it out, now you attach your statement to it. You go to a lawyer for human rights when you're disabled and you're known to have memory problems, and the first thing you do is, hey, take my statement, please. Take the statement of people who are involved right now so we have a record as of this date and this time what the best recollection is. They do nothing. Go look at the exposure about what happened with that. Again, it's update for Trudeau. You know, I was in their system. I was dragged into their system. Again, they use it to lure you. They lured me on 3 different occasions. It was only once that I did not fall for it. And that's at the start of this, when you can hear it in the recording of Shamir Beta, the first contact, in the first contact video. First and last contact. And you must listen to that last contact because they expose the fact that they are biased. They expose the fact that they are going to be difficult. They expose the fact that this is a power thing. This is strictly because they have the power to do it, and the cabal of everybody cooperating against the law, against Municipal Act, covering up the fact that this, what's going on. The news agencies are involved because they refuse to do a story. We have to put our stuff on YouTube. We should not have to do any of this. And the whole point is we ask for accessibility through the whole thing. The only accessibility you get is to that pile in the corner of notwithstanding, you're a pile of shit. You deserve no respect. You deserve no assistance, unless it's assistance out the door because go listen to the tape. Go listen to Last Contact. It's in the description section of the video. Go in the description sections because all the Municipal Freedom of Information, Privacy and Protection Act release from the region of Waterloo is there. From the city of Waterloo. Municipal enforcement. So go check out the package for 98B and see if there's anything to do with fire inspection there for the whole time it was there, because that is the whole history since 2011, since they started the whole process of residential rental license. You can see how they didn't have a furnace, a working furnace, and it appears that they cleared house there. They just kicked everybody out or waited till they left after semester and quietly let it go away again, allowing it to be sold to Commissions in Worldwide Inc., who, regardless of anything, bought all liability. And the fact that it's one owner on all these properties should make it very simple for these people, especially if he's undergoing an application process on all 4 properties where he gives his permission to go in and they have the right to go in at any time. This is ridiculous. They have come here wasting taxpayers' money to assault us. And this is being allowed to happen. And the fact that it's able to happen and there's nowhere to go. We have asked for Accessibility with Disabilities Act access to the city, assistance with clarifying, even having Tennille Bonjour here or anybody come here and go, yes, according to our records, they are licensed. This is a cover-up. And I'm about to pay the ultimate price because I'm done. Go look at the videos. They have had license to cover up. This cabal has been working on me for over 15 years. But most recently, since 2015, when they invited me down to their courthouse, the person who I was talking on the phone with, identifying as the disability coordinator, accessibility coordinator, I don't care what you want to call it, they don't do a damn thing except for hand you a piece of paper and say, good luck with that. Especially if you can't write it down or whatever, that, because all they got to do is be polite, give you a few minutes to listen to you, and then their job's done. Now you're just being a problem. Yeah, well, you know what? This problem solved. They've solved this problem. Because of my ability, I am a threat. I have been a threat, and they made me into a threat because that's what they control the narrative. There is no assistance. Even with the way that they did it, I was dragged into their system twice, into their medical assistance system, into this 72-hour hold against my will, with never had a capacity hearing ever. Went against the wishes of our power of attorney, but because we are disabled, we have no way to defend ourselves. There's no way, even with a power of attorney in place, which should seal the deal, because that's insurance policy on my care, that's just another level they ignore. Follow what happened here. We formed an association, a tenants association, to protect ourselves from this kind of harassment and abuse. And watch. Notwithstanding. Well, I'm standing right here. You're going to let this happen? Bring your cameras down. 100A Marshall Street, 8:30 in the morning. I'll be live streaming. I will not be giving up vacant possession. Yeah, they can go ahead and cut power here all they want because it won't matter. I've got the cloud and on my phone, and that I don't need any router for that. And I'm inviting every person down here, any person who has anything to do with disability, the parents that just got autistic kids, you are now part of this all, which is all of us who have been disabled by government. You can go spend your money anywhere, go before any venue. You are not withstanding. They'll take your money. They'll waste your time. They'll spin your wheels because that is what they are designed to do. So Bardish Chaggar, I haven't even seen your acceptance speech yet. I'm sure you're going to give one because you're House Leader, and this is an important region, which is why it's fascist. You are liars. This is a legal issue, and the reason why I keep it a legal issue is because you know that the system is set up to just be circular and eat its own tail. Waste money. You still promote. Where is this freedom? Where is this security of person? If you can do this to me because I walked into the wrong employer and uncovered that and again, here's this pattern of behavior. The privilege. They were privileged to operate for 5 years before my accident, doubling their accident rate every single year of what was reported. With each accident, and a rep from Labor Board and WSIB slash for the worker went in to assess the place, gave them instruction, corrected them, fined them, whatever. Never once did they do in any of those reviews come up with the fact that what we uncovered, which is there was never a worker safety rep ever, which is required by law. There was not even a proper health and safety policy in place. And gee, I wonder if that's why there was all those accidents. I don't know. There might not be a connection there, but ESDORA of of IAPA was brought in 2005, which is a year after my accident in June 2004, to help with designing a health and safety policy. It's a matter of record. They were operating unlawfully, illegally, under the tutelage and checks and balances. The check goes into their account and the balance goes up. And they protect the lawbreaker, the privileged. It's their privilege. I have been denied. They have set the narrative on that in spite of the evidence. Again, tribunal, which you're shut out from, and they dictate and deem what they say it is. They do nothing to stop these accidents because they're making way too much money off of the fallout. We are nothing more than plaything. I have been their plaything, and the whole demonstration is, look what we can do. You have no power. You are not withstanding. Watch the video at the end of the update for Trudeau. Take our challenge. Count how many officers were. There was already 3 at the kiosk. The 4th one went out as well and then came back in just before everybody else started running out. So I'm disabled. I may appear to be a big guy, but I am not. And again, he had my hands above my head where I'm not able to breathe. And he was squeezing me. He literally physically grabbed me and tackled me out 2 sets of doors. And then onto the ground. Well, through the doors, and by the time we got through the second door, I couldn't breathe, and I'm begging him to help me. Like, what are you doing? I'm disabled. Well, you watch the freaking thing. Cameras everywhere. The point is, Mr. Gale walks into frame. That's the one who's assigned to me. I'm not allowed to have my own lawyer. It is assigned to me. It is part of the mechanism. I am now part of the mechanism. And this is the man who helped set up the thing. This is 2 or 3 weeks after shooting Bo Baker on the lawn in Brybeck Crescent. I got lured there. I have the recording of the woman who called me down. I made the mistake of going down by myself. That is what happened to me in 1 minute, 39 seconds because they're not trained properly. Or actually, that's the way they are trained. You see them start to enact their training even before I'm aware of it. And all I'm asking for is help. 1 minute, 39 seconds, people. Since then, it's been a cover-up. Took 10. I'm supposed to have a lawyer right away. Without delay. I'm supposed to have a capacity hearing right away without delay. Of course I was upset. I just got almost murdered. They just abused me in the basement of the police station, for Christ's sakes. Waterloo Region. Wake up, people. I am reduced. If there's such access, why am I reduced to this psychological mess? Why are they able to, under Geneva Convention, this is defined as an act of war. Psychological warfare and torture. Actual torture. I defy anybody to prove differently. Who have I been radicalized by? If I'm anti-government, if I'm anti-crown, who did the radicalizing? Let me ask you. Who's responsible? I'll give you a hint. If money is the root of all evil, then who owns the tree? I'll give you a hint. Her face is on most of the bills around the world. Only in these bullshit democracies. It's British North America Act for a reason. Britain rules North America, including the United States. The Mr. guy who, it's all image. I cannot tell a lie. He crossed to Delaware because he signed their surrender, their capitulation, just like they did in France. They brokered a deal. It was better for business because it's all about the business. We're open for business. I'm just a casualty of business. This is for progress, for economy. The fact that they have packaged our rights, our due process into a nice, neat little ball. They obstruct the law that they're supposed to uphold in the first place, because had they been doing that, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Had they done that the minute we brought them in the door impartial, we wouldn't be having this conversation. There would not be any rent owing because he unlawfully collected it. We were deliberate by error or omission, doesn't matter. This has been proven it is not safe. We have a work order of their own, watered down assessment, flawed. Take a look. How many times he come out? Shamir Maida came out with his clipboard the one time because he's reading the situation. Again, they failed in getting me to go to the city hall. They failed in me being interactive with him when he came that time, because every time they come over, learning the last two times, one being the one that's documented on that tape, the second one happening just around the provincial election. We were going through a process with CCAC the same way as we tried to do through the community clinic on Francis Street or wherever the hell it is downtown, through the soup kitchen, taking care to have meetings, talk about the medical aspect of it. They got all the documentation. They got all the proof that there was reporting of harm on the reports, but nobody reported it to whoever's. There is no reporting of harm except for, hey, we're in trouble. Let's go destroy this person. I am done. Let them tell you whatever they want about how they treat disabled and the advocates, the true advocates of disabled, which is their caregivers, their next of kin. The whole system is set up to wear people down. I mean, I don't have a hope in hell. I know that because I can't even get these rights, this respect within these people who call themselves my family. People have called themselves my family, and oh, they love me, and I'm part of something. I can't even be part of that because I've been thrown out of that. Shunned, disabled by everyone because your sensibility has been whatever. You're all in denial. My fight is over. I don't expect anything except for the usual. Joe Canadian, hi, my name's Joe. I'm Canadian. He got his keg of beer. He got his pot legalized. He's passed out in the back 40, thumb up his ass, wondering why things don't change. Not caring because he's so drunk and so partied up and so having a good time right now. Hey, man, that's just right now. He'll puke in a minute, but just give him a sec. This is Chris, Canadian. I was born and raised here. I am a native to this land. I listened to what they taught me. Act with integrity. Be honest. Be hardworking. Stand up for the for the underdog. We're supposed to take care of the least of us. I am grateful to have what I have. So for me to at least reach out and say, and this is right. And instead of just coming up and going, hey, I'll pray for you and here, have a sandwich. You're serving your own self, even in doing that, because as long as you're satisfied, you've done something, like giving your token donation. I've given to the disabled. I do my part. Mr. Trudeau, We are not included. We are notwithstanding. I am notwithstanding, even to the point where the law itself has been broken openly. Manipulation. They exploit our disability because, again, our hearing was August 28th. Not given any accommodation, managing to barely get through what I was able to get through. Triplicate of massive release of information evidence to show that there's 4 falsely filed applications. All of it. It's all posted online. The video, we had witness. We formed a tenants association. We did everything to try and have this. Doesn't matter. I hired a lawyer the last time. Look where it got me. Invited down there and almost assaulted because all they got to do is point their finger, and that's what it is. They control the narrative, especially when you have nobody there. My my daughter saw me coming out of the back of the van of the ambulance after just almost being murdered. Of course, I was upset. But what was she doing there? It was a setup. She was going through nursing at Grand River Hospital. She had no right being involved. And they used her. They used everything. And the worst part about it, I know exactly what they're doing and why. I have full capacity, but hey, listen to them. It's important you listen to their narrative. Tom already gave his life, and I'm going to be next. Mr. Trudeau, Bardish Chaggar. I got no choice. I'm disabled. There's no way. I mean, they wait. August 28th was the hearing. 3 hours, fully documented, fully supported. Shows what's going on here. Weren't able to complete because I was threatened right in the. We were at the end of our rope. We were being threatened again with police being called because I'm tired and I can't continue. And they allowed that to happen. I expressed that I was upset and I'm not going to allow that to happen, to be threatened with police again, and I would leave, and they allowed it to happen. Because it's about what it looks like, not what it is. It's a show. It's an act. You are being manipulated. Behavioral therapy or cognitive behavioral therapy. You want reality. This is in real time. We had no direction over the course of events other than we asked a question. And we ended up exposing that none of us are safe. It's all for show. If you rent in the city of Waterloo and it's not a full accredited student housing, and student housing, you should be going to every single housing unit that's available for students and making sure that the certificate of compliance is accurate. But it's about, no, it looks good on paper, we're good. Insurance happens, well, insurance goes, well, yeah, we'll just use what looks good on paper. Don't have to investigate. Wake up, people. Anyway, I'm live streaming every day, for a bit every day. I can't do this. I mean, it's hard enough. Psychologically, I'm already dead. I'm already dead. Especially if they get away with this. This is a death sentence. This is them saying you're powerless. There's no sense in continuing. I've been cut off from my health care. I've been cut, like I said, security a person. I didn't go looking for this. You know, And look what we get for our effort because we did the right thing. We are the only ones who have acted lawfully here. And again, go look at the legislation. It said it's unlawful to pay rent. It is unlawful to collect rent. It is unlawful to cause rent to be collected or to cause a rental business to be carried on at this location. From May 2017, when we signed the lease, 4 days after he bought it, which we didn't know, he gave it a Coupa Marcoux card, which and Commissions Worldwide. So what? That was their client. If he did it right and he did it straight up and up, he should have get because he is Commissions Worldwide Inc. He is the owner. He should have given me his business card for Commissions Worldwide Inc. Either way, there was a verbal agreement, and he promised fencing in both backyards because we both have dogs. We both have safety needs. There was a busy restaurant operating right behind the property. We gave him a break because he said he was going to do it the next spring. He's a con artist. They're all con artists. Mayor Jaworski, go look at the response Mayor Jaworski and Karen Redmond gave. Go look at their response. They are not allowed to give that response. Their only response is to send somebody impartial over there and find out what the bottom line is. We already did that. There is a work order in place for 98 days. Yeah, we're the ones standing in our own way, right? No, because the minute they get us out of here, which is the whole point, we are no longer residents. We no longer have a claim before the committee or the city or the province. We have no residence. Matter of fact, without a residence, I have no car insurance. So I am now no longer mobile. In this marketplace, we did everything lawfully. We have a lawful, in good faith, negotiated tenancy contract for a tenancy that has been ignored, that has been interfered with, that is now being torn apart and we're getting thrown on the street because they are breaking the law. And they're refusing me my fucking rights. Just another round. A legal issue. They make sure of it because there is no reprieve. It's about control. It's about the manipulation. It's about the lie. So did you have a nice show with this election? This play? Are you entertained? Surprised? Yeah, Mr. Trudeau, you said you would include everybody years ago. This war on poverty has to stop. I'm done. I'm another casualty. I'm the next casualty of this property because I'm telling you right now, I'm done. Where do you go after this? This is the second real estate agent, commissioned real estate agent with their own property disguised again. Oh, here, this is safe. This is lawful. They are the ones required to follow the law. The province, the region, the city are the ones required to maintain minimum building code, which the Landlord Tenant Board Act and everything else starts with. And they claim it starts with human rights. You're right. It starts with human rights. You're shut out. Notwithstanding, I gave them the fucking legal evidence. You go to the police to report a crime, and they come here to beat you up and threaten you. Well, I'm sure on Friday, mental health services will be here to assist me on my way out the fucking door. No, you better bring the morgue. You better bring a body bag because this is not going to be easy. Now I'm going to be difficult. Now it's my turn. I'm live streaming every day, and we just got the call back. Denise went to legal aid again. AOTA request for representation and to assist us with accessibility issues to deal with anything to do with this. She went in there. She met with them. She wrote it out, everything, how we were denying and all that. Went in there, had another meeting with him because she was already in there for several hours the other day with Carrie. And all they did was hand her a piece of paper and go, well, this is what you might want to do. Go check this out, check that out. No, we needed her to take the reins to help us with accessibility for this stuff. Sorry, I got a little avalanche happening here. I got to stop pounding on the desk. Supposed to help with accessibility. Like, how about intervening with the city? How about intervening with the region? How about intervening with the Wadley Regional Police to make sure that things are in place that we're supposed to have for accessibility? None of them. They did their little check on the paper. Oh, another accessibility person helped. Okay, that makes 10. We did, look at that. We helped 30 disabled people today to get out the door, and here's your piece of paper. We were accessible. We listened to them. She had to go back a second time. And this time go, excuse me, I need you to write this down for us and send it in. And that was almost a week later. Need to send this to Social Benefits Tribunal. Oh, I'm sorry. That's another whole other section of community legal services. You're in the wrong place. That's like heart. We only do feet here. I'm sorry. Heart's over there. Autism is over there because it's all. They don't understand the word all. They separate it into different departments. Oh, you got to start all over, pay the fee, hire a lawyer. Oh, that lawyer doesn't do civil. How about my constitutional rights? Anywhere. It's a myth. It's a con. It's an act. Get it clear. I am going, based on weather, because I can't do this, even to pick stuff up. First of all, psychologically, what's it like for me to have to pack everything up? Even if I was physically able to do so. After all this, and again, August 28th, and they wait till just before the end of October. And then it's a shutout. Again, no accessibility. They make me do the jumping through hoops, which exacerbates my PTSD because even to have to think of it on this level repeatedly over and over, have to review tapes and recordings and which ones and have to describe it again. This is what happens. You get a show. I've been through their system. They're supposed to have follow-up. I get none. Absolutely none. I should have been able to have my situation dealt with in a court of law. And the only reason why I didn't is because the nature of my disability, I actually have the recordings. You want to hear the hearing? You want to hear the whole process of me trying to get accessibility, then get finding a lawyer through legal aid and talking with him every time about my concerns, and then you go and he doesn't do anything about my concerns. He just drag you along. Name, number, charge, ding, 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 ding on legal aid. Oh, yeah, I did all this stuff for him, which got him absolutely nowhere. Which, again, I beg to tell you that if they were doing anything of what they promised, we wouldn't have to have a lawyer to give us these rights in the first place. Wake the fuck up. It's your problem now. I don't want to die. I've been trying to live. I've been trying to heal. I'm not even allowed to heal. They don't let you heal. They continue to provoke. They separate. They exploit. Go ahead. Parents with autism, notwithstanding. Officers with PTSD, notwithstanding. Oh, it's an insurance issue. It's this issue. It's that. No, I beg to differ, and I challenge everybody who got elected today. The only issue is all, the word all. So when it comes to health care, I'm all. Chris Bacon is all me. I am all Chris Bacon. You can put any name, number to it you want. You can describe this all Chris Bacon all you want. Any way you want. The minute you put my name to a paper, whether there's a number to it or not, I am all of Chris Bacon. So you want to do medical, you do all of me. My occupation, if it has to be, is police officer or firefighter or first responder. And because of the nature of that employment, there is extra need, which you already know about. Somebody shouldn't have to go there and go, what's available? Oh, I should fight for it. Oh, what do you mean it's not in my contract? Oh, well, how about under health care? Every step is a stopgap measure unless you got their beautiful thing called insurance. You are at a certain income you get no bank charges ever. But disabled are taken care of, right? Yeah, the underprivileged, the people who don't make a lot of money, we're the dregs on society. Yeah. So what income level? And you fall below that income level, you're disabled. You are dismissed. You are notwithstanding. You're not even considered in public policy. Look at the rental housing shortage because they're making economy. This man and company and city and region deliberately did not follow the law. They are not following the law right now. This is fraud. They managed to push us out the door using the law to do it, to put us in a position not clarifying where we're automatically put into the position of landlord-tenant. We think that they have to abide by the law, and they even say how they do building code, and none of them are doing it. You ask for Doug Ford. How about, what's his name? Mr. Harris, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing. Oh, it's so confusing, isn't it? You ask Mayor Regional Rep Jaworski, who on 2 levels. And again, who's the accessibility coordinator? You can't even get them to answer a simple question publicly. And everybody is of this mind that when it comes to disability and accessibility, you go in and you go, oh, I'm disabled. They go, oh, please, right this way. And some sort of red carpet's rolled out. And you're given extra care. It's a myth. This is what you get, especially when they're at fault and you have no means of protection. None. No constitution, and it's supposed to start with this, with human rights. Bullshit. I was in their courtroom where they assaulted me repeatedly in a disability court where I was not even represented as a person with a disability. This is a cover-up, and I am done. I was assaulted at Ray of Hope as a person with a disability by the staff. But the real horror came because again, the law says you're supposed to try and resolve it internally with the company first. Give them an opportunity to do their policy and procedure to make sure that they abide by the law. Give them the opportunity, which is the law. This is part of the cabal because it's another service-based industry within the Waterloo region. They have brought it all under one roof. They've shut down anybody who doesn't cooperate with them, and they control the rest, just like they do with every other aspect of so-called advocacy for disabled, like independent living centers. You get it real quick when you go to independent living center, you say, look, I just want you to help me fill out an application for, and again, not like represent, just help me get something said. Just let me ask myself and on the officers, and they continue to harm disabled people. They continue to just disable us and treat us notwithstanding. Doesn't matter what I hand them. I can hand them to the golden rule. I can hand them anything. You are not withstanding. Like I said, I can't even get this from these so-called human beings that call themselves my family. I'm just a complainer. I should be grateful. I'm just not. You're trained to shut it out because this isn't Canadian, right? The Queen isn't responsible for, or the Crown, whatever you want to call it, isn't responsible for creating refugees within our own country. You know, just like elsewhere in the world, this Crown is very elegant. You know, they called it slavery because they were brave. That was the business owners that go, no, they're slaves. We'll call it what it is in the United States. And in Canada, they just called it indentured servitude, tied to a contract of employment, to which you are bound and your kin are bound. And they've been doing this system for thousands of years because it works very well for them. They plant their flag wherever they want, in spite of anybody rights rules or whatever else, just like here. Security person? Really? We paid our rent. All the bills are paid up. He even had the check for June, which he was able to cash at any time, but he didn't because he understood if he did, it was unlawful. And that would have changed everything. But they keep it in their own little purview of the region, of the province. They deliberately, and again, let me tell you, when they get us out of here, they're not going to do anything to correct this. There's no intent to correct this. They got a property management company ready to come in here, do a clean, quick, and then they'll have it up on the board, ready to rent for 6. As a matter of fact, I bet you they got 6 students ready to move in right now. But they'll be in here, if we gave them this place, they would be in here with a cleaning crew right afterwards, and by a day or two later, they would have it occupied fully with students who are ready to pay the rent, probably coming in from out of town or whatever, not knowing that this isn't place. Oh, look at this great place. We got a deck and everything. Wow, look at the backyard. $600 a room, sure, no problem. And I did most of the improvements around here. It's not going to happen. I already messaged, and I'm going to post the message because I'm going to post up the accessibility policy of the Waterloo Regional Police. I have to suffer through more videos of video contacts of assaults and landlords assaulting and I am so tired. I just want to lie down and you know, I'm already dying anyway. My health is not good. So, you know, what, I get the slow burn? I get a repeat of what happened before because that's what happened up the street under Mayor O'Halloran, and Melissa Durrell was the ward councillor then, and exactly the same playbook, exactly the same accessibility standards and act, and they just did their play-by-play, which is shut down, shut out, and shut up, and if need be, punish. Be punitive against the person because they have no power. They are nothing. They are nobody. We can do what we want, when we want, however we want, and nobody's doing anything to stop them. Oh, Ken. Anyway, it's your problem. I'm live streaming. I'm done. I'm doing this one posting. I'm gonna post it. Premiere, whatever. I don't know how that works. I'm just at the end of my rope. I'm just trying to get through the day physically. I've been going downtown playing guitar as best I can. Yeah, I always put on a good show because hey, that guy's not disabled or he's not that bad, eh? You never see the after effect. I'm done. I'm nobody. I got it. Nothing to see here. Anyway. Mr. Trudeau, Ms. Chaggar, if you're not going to do anything, then at least send a rep, bring your camera. It's going to be live streamed. maybe you could tune in. You're gonna live stream it. You're gonna live stream every day until we get there. Hopefully, Denise today is going to be getting in touch with that lawyer again, or the social benefits tribunal. I don't know. She's reaching out to somebody. It doesn't matter. I've already done that. Tried many times. She's tried. It's just a runaround. They it's set up that it's closed for business anyway, and even if they wanted to give you the business, it takes a couple weeks to get around to it. So I've only got till Friday morning at 8:30 a.m. and they're going to get away with this crimes because they never upheld the law to begin with. Now that's pointed out, and they even have a work order, they're not upholding the law. They're using it to beat against our head. They're trying to say that we've been standing in the way of it. Yeah, that's why we're on YouTube asking them to do it, right? We are so. And again, listen to the recording of Shamir Maida. This is deliberate on their part. Why? Well, because you guys let them. You can be on YouTube asking for help. You can go to people they call family. You can go to agencies, because agencies, all they're allowed to do under the rules of disability management, you must send them back to the circle that eats its own tail, because the money that's generated off it gets spit off into that crown's greedy little paws, left, right, and center. They get their greedy little paws into the taxation on property. So by artificially propping up properties, again, you're talking how many buildings, how many high rises in Waterloo have multiple unit dwellings of 6 apartments where they're sharing like 3 or 4 rooms, an apartment on a floor. That raises the mill rate. The fact that we are paying $1,200 a month here on a legally, in good faith tenancy that they just broke with no protection whatsoever, under the guise of protection under accessibility rights and especially tenancy rights, where I'm sorry, do you people disagree that, again, municipal affairs and housing, who is responsible for landlord tenant, who is responsible for municipal enforcement in a service sharing agreement. That's why it's called municipal enforcement. But hey, there's no clarification, not even here. This is clear what's going on. You want clarification? It's right here, real time reality TV. And the climax will be Friday. Bring your cameras, because I already called the sheriff. I already called Brian Larkin. I asked Brian Larkin, hey, you've been working so hard at this. Load your gun. Come down here and be the guy to pull the trigger. Okay? Hey, Brian, I want you to come do it. Have guts. Have the balls to stand up for your policy. What is the policy position of the Waterloo Regional Police there, Brian? Why no intervention? Because it's a provocation. They are using, this is a police state. They used the police for what they did. They had 3 or 4 interactions with me, and each interaction they bring the police, and yet I'm never here. Because I got wise to their plan. They are trying to provoke a confrontation so that they can assault me again, bring me wherever they want, and they close the case because then their narrative is finalized. Who's listening to that guy? I don't give a fuck anymore. You haven't been listening to me for fucking years. I'm done. It's your fight. If you need this to continue, if you want this to be the fight for the good fight or whatever the hell it is, then you got to step up. You have to show this is wrong, whether it's email Jaworski and or Redmond and or Brian Larkin and or show up here Friday morning and be a freaking wall between them and me. Don't let them do this. I'm fighting for my life here. The ability to live. To have self-determination. Not to be destroyed piece by piece because I'm calling out for justice in a world with none. No mercy. There is absolutely nothing wrong with my cognitive ability. You guys have made sure of that. Whether deliberately, by error, or omission, doesn't matter. And I challenge Mr. Trudeau and all you leaders that profess to have human rights and legal rights. I beg to differ. Friday night, I'm supposed to be in Port Credit for a volunteer appreciation night for helping out with Southside Shuffle in Port Credit. I'm glad I was able to make it to both events this year. I wasn't able to last year because I was driven underground, psychologically abused to the point where I was hiding in my own home. I barely go out on the porch. They assaulted me again after CCAC and after asking for help again and being lured in there again. Sorry. Doesn't matter, I'm going to be dead soon anyway. So at least got control over how. I don't want to die. I've been asking for people to help save me. Help me save me. All we gotta do is press play. I'm obviously a threat. And they're about to neutralize it. I am of sound mind and body. And I will be signing over all of my possessions, all of my earthly possessions, to Denise Duval, Denise Christine Lee Duval. We will be purchasing every one of my possessions. I have by when this goes down on Friday, right now it's 3:49 a.m. 3:49 a.m. on Tuesday, October 22nd. So I've got today, tomorrow, and Thursday. 3 days left to get ready for my death. What I fully expect to be my death. Because there will be no reprieve. Denise will do her dance. Because they disagree. It takes time to do the appeal. Again, meanwhile, they're supposed to be doing this. You're supposed to be paying attention to these laws as it's happening. Well, they're lying. The whole thing's a lie. The whole thing's a lie. Anyway, I fully expect to die on Friday morning, so we'll be live streaming it. We'll be live streaming it. We invite other people. Just come down. It's going to be entertaining anyway. Big finish. Because the minute I'm dead, I guess it's all dead, right? There's no more evidence. It's just some sad guy complaining about having such a great life as a disabled person in Canada. Should be grateful, right? Notwithstanding.